Hi everybody, this is a little demo on how I do big curls and waves in my wigs. This process works on all of my wigs. Today we're using a Coscraft Bernie in Pale Ash Blonde. As you can see, it's quite straight, but it's quite thick, so it's going to be really good to demonstrate. So the tools you're going to need are a hairbrush, some hairspray, some crocodile clips to hold the hair in place. These are just little clips that you pinch together and they hold the hair. And some plastic rollers. These are 35mm and the white ones are 30mm. The first step is to give the wig a quick brushing through, just to get rid of any pre-existing knots and tangles and to make the hair more manageable. And then we're going to use the 30mm rollers, grabbing about an inch square area of hair. Keep the hair brushed through, keep it tight, and we're going to hold that horizontally. And then we're going to wind the hair around the end of the roller, just to get it going at the start. And then keep the roller vertical as you wind it into the hair. So keeping it as vertical and keeping the hair tight, we wind it into the hair, and then use one of the crocodile clips to just clip it in place. And then repeat this all around the top section of the wig. So I've picked another inch square area behind this roller, and we're going to repeat the process. Keeping the rollers vertical means that the hair is going to spiral down really nicely and not curl and bounce like crazy if I did them horizontally. So I want to do 3 on one side with all the hair curling away from the face, and then I'll go back and I'll do 3 on the other side with the hair curling in the other direction, still going away from the face. I keep the hair going away from the face just because it's more flattering and it's less likely that the hair is going to just bounce in your face the whole time you're wearing it and just get on your nerves. Once the sides are in, I'll find the middle point at the back of the wig and separate the hair evenly on each side. Because the hair is curling in different directions, it's all curling towards the back of the wig and it will meet down the centre back. You can't really see any noticeable difference in the back because all the waves are going to disguise it, so don't worry about having a sudden line where the curls are going in different directions. So here it's 4 curls on each side, and then we get to doing the next layer. Just adding a few more in the front for the first section of hair that I missed. So I'm also going to curl the bangs at the front of the wig. These are going to be next to the face. I'm not going to touch the fringe yet because that's easier to do once the rest of the wig is styled. So these are just the little bangs that are going to come down and frame the side of the face. I'm doing these in the smaller rollers again just because they're going to look really bouncy and really cute when next to your face. So then we're on to the next layer. These are the 35mm clips. So these make your really big, lovely waves and bouncy curls. The slightly larger waves on the bottom are really useful because they provide lots of volume and lots of fluffiness, and then they don't blend in too well with the layers on the top. That's why the curls on top are slightly smaller, so they're bouncier and they create definition in the layers. It's really important to not overpack the roller with hair, so I only use the area of about an inch squared. Roughly you can figure out how much hair your roller will take by seeing the diameter of the roller. So if you stood the roller as end on the head of the wig, that's about how much hair it will fit. So again, I'm sectioning off the hair to make sure we've got it evenly among the rollers and just rolling it in. Remember to keep the hair tight and to keep the rollers vertical. That gets the best results. While loading the hair into rollers does look quick here, it's not quick, and you do need quite a lot of rollers. I'd recommend ordering about 4 packs if you're buying the 12 packs. Next, I'm using my steamer, handheld steamer, to steam the wig. This heat sets it in position. Wigs are really just like thermoplastics, so you have to get them very hot and keep them hot in position. Then they slowly dry out and they cool down, and that's what makes them hold their shape. So the hotter you can get the hair without melting it, the hotter you can get it, the better. So I'm going to be steaming this. I will use about a steamer and a half full of steam, so that's a lot, and it does take quite a while. And then I'm going to hit it with a hairdryer to make sure it's fully dry, and then it will cool down and it will be set in position. The reason it takes so long is because I make sure that each individual curl has been steamed for a few seconds. This makes sure there's no odd curls that haven't curled as well as the rest, and there's none that are going to drop. So I'm doing each individual roller on each row, and then at the end I'm going to turn the wig towards me and get the other direction from the top. After steaming, it's hairdryer time. You can see I've got a diffuser. This helps spread the heat from the hairdryer around, and it doesn't make the blowing force from the hairdryer so vigorous that it disturbs the layout of the wig. So I'm going to get it really hot, make sure everything is perfectly dry, and then take it off my table and leave the wig outside for an hour. It's cold outside, and the wig needs to be fully cooled down before you can take all the clips out. So if you live somewhere cold, it's quite handy to just pop it outside for a while. Once we're back and we've cooled down, I'm going to do a light dusting of hairspray. And then I can start getting the curls out. Some of the bases of the curls are still a little bit warm, so I'm occasionally blowing on them to cool them down as I take them out. As I take the curls out, I unclip and then just gently unroll the roller. And then you can see I wrap the hair around my finger in the direction that the curls are going. This is what forms the really neat little ringlets. Gosh, these ringlets are cute. So once all the ringlets are out, you can gently brush them through with your finger or a wide tooth comb, just to break them up and to get them acting more like waves. You'll probably notice that there's some weird layering and wefting showing at the top of the wig. We're going to gently go over that with a hairdryer just to soften the shapes at the top. As I said, wigs are like thermoplastics, so they can be very easily moulded with heat. So here I'm just going to hairdryer the top section and finger comb it so all the hair lies a bit more naturally. Doing a bit more styling, if you want the ringlets to come back, all you have to do is wrap them around your finger and they reform. Here you can see there's sort of weird bumps from where the rollers were set. Again, I'm just going to hit those with a hairdryer and gently brush them over. This makes it sit flat again. And that's roughly the body of the wig styled. If I was to cut a fringe, like a full fringe or something similar, I could leave it here. But I'm going to move on to curling the fringe in really big poofy curls next. So to do the fringe, first thing I've got to do is get the body of the wig, so the main bit of hair, away from the fringe, just to make it easier to style so I'm not accidentally recurling the same thing. So I'm just going to use those same crocodile clips to clip the hair away. And then using the 35mm rollers, I'm going to take small sections of the fringe and hold the roller horizontally this time, roll it down the fringe. As you can see, it's not stable on the base of the wig. Where the roller has landed, it's about an inch further back from where that hair starts in the wefting. This means it will have a smooth section right at the top, and then it will roll back on itself forwards, and you'll get a really cute fluffy fringe. So I'll use a few layers of these rollers, and then in the wider section at the front of the fringe, I'll probably split it into two so that it will fit on the rollers. Because the fringe doesn't need to be as tightly wound as the curls, I'm just going to use the heat from the hairdryer to set the curls into place. And then again, wait for it to cool down before letting them out. Letting the curls out, this front section that I've used 2 rollers on, I could just brush and use some slight heat from the hairdryer just to make those 2 sections join. But I forgot when I was doing it. So I'm letting out the next sections, and you can see how strong the curls are when they've cooled down. Okay, well, they hadn't cooled down. I was slightly blowing it here to cool it as I unrolled it. So once they're all free, I'm just going to brush them together, and this makes a huge, huge poofy fringe. This is the perfect way to do like big 90s anime fringes. So this is a giant poofy fringe and a very voluminous wig with no back combing and not much other product. It will need styling and hairspraying if you're going to be wearing it, but if you just want a wig that you can curl and restyle again and again and again, doing things with heat like this is generally easier than back combing, just because it does less lasting damage to the wig. So a little bit more styling, just using the hairdryer to neaten up some curls and hide some wefting. I'm going to just brush it through and define some ringlets, and then I'll pop it on and see how it looks. And here's the end result. There is a few issues with wefting showing right at the back of the wig and at the side of the fringe. The back of the wig is because I have waist length hair and I did a rush job of getting it in the wig cap. If you have somebody brush the wig while it's on your head and lightly hit it with a hairdryer, it should hide those issues. The same goes with the gap between the fringe and my forehead. Again, I could brush this out and hit it with a hairdryer and you wouldn't be able to see. But overall, I'm really pleased with the outcome. I hope you guys learnt something from the video. This is how I style all my wigs, all my curled wigs, and it's never let me down.